Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I mean, I'm so happy to be back in the boxing game with a boxing show with me. I've got Sean O'Hagan. Sean, how are you, buddy? Good to see you again.
Do you know, I mean, just echoing what you've said there, it's absolutely great to be back. It's a little bit strange, a little bit different, but I think once fights start and everybody switches on, I think evening will just flow. It's a really, really good setup. To be honest with you, it looks absolutely spectacular. The lighting, the venue, everything. Circumstances being as they are, I don't think you'll see better than that, to be honest.
I agree, the lights, it's a big massive. We're standing in the shade because it's too hot. It's actually roasting here. We're standing in some shade. We found a little dark alley we can sit and chill and have a chat. But behind you right now in this building is obviously where the production arena is. It's a big huge place. The ring, the lights, the ring works, all looks good, so it's what we're after. But you've got a job to do tonight. Maxi Hughes against John O'Carroll. Just tell me how everything's going with Maxi.
To be honest with you, I think this is the best camp that Maxi's ever had. We're very, very confident. I'm not saying that loosely. I mean, sparring that he's had for this, he's been sparring bigger guys, he's been sparring like Sir Jack Catterall, Jake Goodwin, Mark Leach. He's sparred my own lad, Josh Warrington, Reese Mould, and finished off with a couple of southpaws. One of them, Jack Daniel, good prospect.
Jack Daniel, that's a good name.
Jack Daniel, and do you know what they call his dad?
What's that?
Paul Daniels.
Oh,
yeah, Paul Daniels. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're called Paul Daniels, it's just a piss take calling your lad Jack, innit?
Exactly.
It's took piss out of him, so I just call him Dave.
You were saying Maxi's had a good camp, but I seen him on the scales yesterday. He looks good, he looks fit, he looks ready, but he's up against John O'Carroll, who's world title challenger. You've came into the dog as an underdog, so to speak. Not many people gave Josh, your son Josh, a chance against Carl Frampton when they fought. Again, likewise, not many people are going to give Maxi a chance to get John O'Carroll, but again, you're here to cause the upset.
To be honest, I'm used to being underdog. Maxi proved in his last fight with Liam Walsh that, I mean, it were a points win for Walsh, but Maxi gave a good account of himself. There were one or two little factors in camp that we weren't happy with that could have contributed towards that. But I mean, despite the judges' scorecards that were fairly wide, they were very, very generous, and even Walsh himself said that. And he also said after the fight, he said, I wasn't expecting that. So, I mean, Walsh in himself is a world-class operator, isn't he? But he's a lot bigger. He's a genuine lightweight. He's got the reach. I mean, John O, bless him, I love John O to bits. But I think Max has got the physical advantage. I really do, the reach advantage. And he's been looking absolutely superb. He's been looking great.
All going well for Maxi, and he does get the job against John. We've seen upsets happen in this game. It's boxing, anything can happen. I mean, that we've seen him against Martin J. Ward, he lost against Martin J. Ward. We've seen him against Liam Walsh, lost against Liam Walsh. I mean, a win for Maxi, he finally gets to propel himself up there with the best of them, so to speak, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Maxi knows this. He knows that, you know, he's not going to get many more opportunities like this. And honestly, when I say this, he's taking full advantage of it. He's absolute consummate professional, and he does belong at this level. Whatever anybody says, Maxi Hughes belongs at this level, and he's fighting at lightweight. You know, it makes a big difference, does that, for Maxi. Anything that we didn't get quite right in the Walsh fight, you know, you can rest assured that we've got it right for this one. I think either way, it's going to be a very, very hard night for John O.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like, I'm just probably itching just to watch some live boxing, to be honest with you. So I'm looking forward to the fight itself. But I kind of want to touch on Josh Warrington. I mean, loads of people have been calling his name out. One of them being Shakur Stevenson and stuff like along them lines. But for you, what's sort of like next for Josh going forward?
I think Eddie's kind of got the Kanzo fight done. As far as Stevenson goes, Frank Warren offered him. He made an offer to Stevenson, he turned it down. Eddie made an offer to Stevenson, he turned it down. I mean, how many offers do they want? You know, let's not forget, he's a 12 or 13 fighter. I mean, what does he want? You know, you can't just stick notes on him just because he says there's not enough money. You know, there's opportunities there. Somebody had offered us high six figures or 7-figure sums. when we were on 13 fights, we fought Martin Lindsay for, I think it was 35 grand. Somebody had have offered us that fight then for, you know, however much Frank and Eddie offered him. We'd have jumped at it, we'd have snapped their hand off. But, you know, some fighters think they're worth a bit more than others, don't they? You know, they don't want to do it the hard way and come through and do it the traditional way. They just start this social media is a good thing, but it can be a bad thing as well. I think it makes fighters believe they're better than they actually are, and it sways people's opinions. But then when it comes down to it, these upsets that we keep causing, are they really upsets? Or is it just social media and a few knockers that gain a bit of momentum, you know? So, anyway, we don't worry about them, do we?
Definitely not, definitely. You mentioned the Kanju fight's done, but can you give me a date on that? I know, like, we've seen fighters like John O'Carroll, who's cusp of world level, Carl Frampton taking a warm-up fight, McCarrt, you can see some of these fighters taking these tune-up fights before they get them big fights and stuff. Can we see Josh Warrington getting out there before he has the Kanju fight, or is the Kanju fight next for him?
To be honest with you, I think, listen, I'm not really sure where they're at. I mean, I know Kanju had agreed to fight before this lockdown and everything else, and me last I heard on it, he was still eager to fight and still wanted the Josh Warrington fight. So I think Eddie's actually working on that now as we speak. If we have a tune-up fight, then that's okay. But, you know, tune-ups are a good thing, but then you risk of injury, aren't you? You know, something going wrong, or I don't know. I don't believe in this ring rust either. People say, oh, a bit of ring rust is not being in ring. Of course they've been in ring. They're prepared, and they're prepared with some of the best sparring partners they can get. You know, so I'm not bothered. Either way. It makes no odds. We'll still be underdog, won't we?
Well, that's it. You like you said, you enjoy being an underdog. Before I let you go, because you've obviously got to get Maxie ready and stuff like that, and obviously cool down, get a drink of water because it is really hot in there. One final word on Maxie Hughes, and what kind of performance are you expecting from him, and will he get the job done tonight?
I'm almost sure he'll get the job done tonight. I mean, nobody can say for sure until they get it ring there, but I think whichever way this goes, it's going to be an hell of a fight. I mean, we've seen John Hoy's tenacious. He comes at you. He never gives in. He's always in super fit condition. But Max is not looking so bad himself. He's going to be a bigger guy in there, stature-wise. He just looks, he's got a different look about him this time as Max. He's prepared, his head's been on it, and he's had some of the best sparring that he could possibly get. So if that's not preparation enough, then I don't know what is.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm predicting a win. I'm predicting a win.
That's all you
I'm
can.
predicting a win. I won't say what round, and I won't say if it's going to be points or stoppage or whatever. Just predicting a win.
Definitely. Well, Sean, as always, I would shake your hand, but we've got to do this social distancing thing. But thanks for doing this Five Fill TV. You know, always a pleasure, and thanks for winding me up all week and all that sort of stuff. But you know, I always like to have fun with you, man, because you're always winding everyone up.
Inconclusive, your test. What the inconclusive?
A failed test, which means they didn't swab me hard enough, so I had to go and. So I basically had to go and reset the test, get the test done again and isolate for another 20. So 48 hours I was in isolation for.
I'll tell you what it is with all this business, this isolating and all. MTK have got a massive amount of trouble to put this production on tonight. But I think, you know, when it does go live and everybody's sat there watching it, streaming it, whatever, they'll see that they've done an absolutely fantastic job. I don't think there's anybody can touch them really, whether it's in somebody's back garden or it's in various halls across country. I think this is absolutely fantastic what they've done. A massive amount of effort and very, very well organised. It's not been comfortable for anybody, but it is what it is. And if you're passionate about boxing, then you put up with it, don't you?
Well, that's it. I totally echo that. I totally echo everything you said. Like I said, I won't keep you much longer though, Sean, because we've got to get back to work because we are consummate professionals. We do our job right. Well, I do anyway, do you?
Yeah, you don't even need to ask me that, do you?
Sean, thanks for this Five Fill TV and good luck tonight.
No
thanks very much, buddy. Cheers.
Cheers. Is that all right for you?